Lithium Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain because earlier this week we had to postpone a day. And we're going to finish this up here on Championship Monday. So if you're at work, if you're back at school, everybody's got a note to enjoy this because you got to check out what's happening on Lake Champlain. And I'm joined by Davey Height. This is one of the most versatile fisheries that we ever visit. You know, you can win at largemouth, smallmouth. But it doesn't look like that this week, Davey Height.
It really doesn't, and a little bit of the reason is at the time of year we're here a little later than we've been here most recent years. But, you know, we all have been talking about it all week. The forward-facing sonar has changed this fishery. It's changed the way you fish this fishery. In years past, you could come to Lake Champlain, and so many anglers like to do that because, hey, you can come here and do what you want to do. You can, and you can even be like Seth Fighter, and you can flip milfoil, or you can chase a smallmouth and fishing on rock piles or bars or shoals, and even a little suspended fish throwing topwater and that sort of thing. But it has been 100% suspended fish over 25 to about 90 feet of water. I saw Matt Robertson in about 90 feet of water this morning, just unbelievable. But those fish suspended, and these anglers are looking at them with the forward-facing sonar, and Koya Fujita he's shown the whole world. A lot of us knew it, how good he was with that technology, and he's certainly showing everyone here this week.
So is this what it is from here on out? You know, you're saying that, and I'm like thinking of the epic runs to Ticonderoga, Denny Brower running the other direction. Like, is this a time-of-year situation, or is this what the sport is today?
It's what the sport is today. And the time of year, a little bit. You know, if they were spawning, those fish would be shallower and they'd be relating to the bottom. There's no doubt about that. But it's what the sport is right now. And you know, we've got one more event next week, and I think everyone needs to kind of look at, is this what we want the sport to be in the future? Who knows? We don't allow a lot of things. I'm not saying we should not allow this, but I think discussion is always healthy in off-season.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussions. There has been discussions all around the world, really. But we are in Plattsburgh, New York, and a guy that's no stranger to the championship round, Koya Fujita, unbelievably not just leading this event, but just say that to yourself. This is his 8th Bassmaster event, his 4th top 10. Davey Height, that's... If he could put the wheels on the bus on those other 4, I mean, he's your Angler of the Year walking away.
Yeah, it's unheard of. You know, you've kept up with the sport just like I have for a very, very long time. For someone to come out here on the Bassmaster Elite Series, the top level of professional bass fishing, and make 4 top 10s as a rookie out of 8 events, that's absolutely incredible.
Well, there's been lots going on the water, and let's catch everybody up with what's been happening on the water. And you know what it is. It's our Toyota Midday Report. And we'll start with Justin Atkins, an Alabama angler, but, man, he has cracked the code to smallmouth bass.
He really has, and we've seen Justin's career. You know, he's had a great career, a young career. Had a slower start this year than for him, you know, to whom much is given, much is expected. Well, nothing's given in this sport. He's just accomplished a lot and had a slower start the first part of this season, but hopefully coming here, we thought, well, he's going to recover and move up and have a chance to maybe make the Bassmaster Classic this year, and he has certainly put together what he needed to do here this week, currently unofficially in 2nd place. So, and this thing's not over. You know, the lead is actually tightened up a little bit, not quite 2-pound difference in 1st and 2nd place. So Justin Atkins, good to see him having a good tournament here for his points and for just, you know, mentally feeling good about himself, and then going into next week at Thousand Islands, where we've seen him do very well there before, and I'm sure he will again next week.
We always talk about a big bass, big stage, big dreams, and nothing will show you that those dreams do come true more than our top 10. I think the oldest angler in our top 10 is Austin Felix, and he's not 40 years old yet. But Cody Huff in his 2nd season, and, man, this is a guy that's going to be a player for a long, long time.
Yeah, Cody Huff, we've seen him do well in these tournaments, using forward-facing sonar, but that's not just his only deal. He's not a one-trick pony for sure. A good fisherman, well-rounded fisherman, and, you know, a joy to be around and talk to about fishing. And, you know, I've talked to him this year. Some days maybe not as good as he wanted, but always got a smile on his face. Very knowledgeable to be as young as he is. A good, cool, level-headed kind of temperament for a young angler. You're going to see a lot more of Cody Huff, not only this week, not only today, but for many, many years to come, in my opinion.
Cody Huff, obviously a former Strike King College Bass champion. Fished a Classic through that, a two-time Classic qualifier, but it's cool to see all the Rookie of the Years and all the former collegiate competitors in this top 10, but somebody who has no problem catching bass in America, the prince of Japanese bass angling.
Certainly does not have a problem. And like we were talking earlier, it's not just here this week. This is his rookie season. Oh, he's going to have a great chance to win his first one today. But looking at his entire season, he's had one or two tournaments where he just missed the boat, so to speak. But absolutely incredible to think that this is his fourth top 10 in 8 events, and obviously a great chance to win here today. Using forward-facing sonar probably more than any other single angler on the Bassmaster Elite Series. They all use it a little bit, but he tries to find a way to use it every single event, whether we're at Okeechobee, Seminole, Lake Murray. I watched him at Lake Murray quite a bit. He was the only angler, because we had schooling fish, the blueback herring was shallow. He was the only angler fishing out offshore looking for suspended fish.
Well, let's get out on the water live now, and we'll join another angler who had great success in the collegiate program and backed it up, winning a Forest Wood Cup and a Bassmaster Open, but really needs to hit some steady ground on the Elite Series. I mean, and that is not a slight. Like you said, with his resume, much is expected of him, and he expects that of himself. But it is kind of puzzling, his Elite Series career. You keep waiting for it to take off, and maybe this is the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about momentum in our sport, and this is certainly kind of what Justin Atkins needs to get some good positive momentum on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Like I said, we've seen him do good at Thousand Islands, make top 10s there and a few other places. But if he could string 2 good events here at Champlain, and then next week where everyone expects to see him do well again there next week, he has in the past, and leave the season with that momentum, 2 great finishes, then might have to look out for him next year.
That's a big one, dude.
I was jealous of his kids this morning. They came to take off in their pajamas. It was really amazing, that takeoff, just looking at, and it didn't really even hit me. It kind of hit me during the top 10 intros yesterday, but just how young this top 10 is. I mean, it's amazing.
It totally surprised me. You mentioned that yesterday afternoon, and it totally surprised me. I was talking to Stevie Wright, and he was kind of thinking about how the age of our sport seems to have changed, and I agree with him 100% that it has definitely dropped about 10 years at the average age of the successful fishermen out here at the top level of Bassmaster tournaments. And the big thing, in my opinion, is all the access to knowledge you have at your fingertips now when you're 10 years old that you did not have. You had Bassmaster magazine, and then you had Outdoor Live, Field and Stream, and that was really it. Not all that long ago in the 70s and 80s. And then Bob Cobb on TNN, we all watched that. But you just have so much access to knowledge and techniques, baits, patterns that we didn't have years ago.
I got to say it because I know the viewers thinking it also has to, this top 10, you have to parallel with the technique that's catching them, too.
Certainly that is part of it. That is part of it.
A lot of factors. I mean, obviously, a giant influx of a lot of young anglers just a few years ago.
They're around somewhere.
May mean absolutely nothing, but he does have it in his boat right now. Bottom corner, you see Alex Redwine. This morning, I am walking towards the dock. I've never done this before, but you're kicking stones, walking up to the dock. I kick something, and I look down, and what is it? It's a wine cork. So I brought it to him, and he kind of said, no, I'm not a superstitious guy, but he did ask for it afterwards. And I said, is this a foreshadowing of what's going to happen here today? So,
What?
I mean, if the kid can pull it out, it's a
So
cute
yeah,
story.
I feel
It
like
is a
we're
great
still
story.
around the right type of fish. God, I just wish I knew a better or different way to get them to bite. Between the Demiki and a spy bait, I lost a pretty decent one on a spy bait about 30 or 40 minutes ago. But like I said, I feel like I know I'm around the right size. It's just makes you want to like put your head through a brick wall just trying to get them to bite. I feel like there definitely is another way to get them to bite. I'm just not sure what that way is. But hopefully we can just keep putzing around and actually hook some of these suckers. We're gonna stay positive though.
He may take that cork and just throw it out of his boat shortly.
So was it his cork, or you
No, but he's
you presented it to him? Now it's his cork.
Well,
So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you'll throw it back at me if it doesn't work out. But it was just, I mean, how often have you just been walking along and you see a wine cork? And,
I agree.
I literally picked it up and looked up, and he was right there. And I was like, but that wine cork is not
A lot of
allowing
fish.
him to chase down the prince of Japanese angling yet. Koya Fujita. What a year he's having. And Cody Huff was kind of the odds-on favorite to win last year's Dakota Lithium Rookie of the Year. But then we met Jay Shakurat.
With a very strong finish. Cody was right there, but when Jay went to Thousand Islands and won that event with over 100 pounds.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll have some of that. We will have some of that.
So do you think we'll break 100 pounds next week?
It's 100% all up to the weather. It always is. But I think so. I honestly do think so. I think Porosnik said on stage yesterday he thinks the whole top 10 will have 100 pounds. And we were trying to get through the weigh-in, or I would have stopped him and said, what? I hope they do as the MC. They
Nice
would be
little
wonderful.
4 1/4 to add to the party.
100 pounds of smallmouth bass is a lot.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I like Porosnik a lot.
Uh-huh.
And he has caught it. He's a great fisherman, but sometimes he gets a little excited when he's on stage with you. I think you make him nervous or something. And he's always the optimist about the next day or the next tournament.
Hey, I hope he's right, Davey.
Oh, absolutely.
Cody Huff doing some culling and having a good time on the water, but winning this tournament would be huge for him.
I like that. Man, it'd be special. My wife and I were just talking about it last night. You come to these tournaments and you fish them all, and until you win one, you don't always think about it. You know what I mean? It kind of seems impossible until it happens. So it'd be very, very special. It'd be awesome for my career and my family, and it'd be really good timing. Oh my gosh, this place is fun.
This isn't just fishing. This is an obsession.
Smallmouth will do that to you.
Advancements in technology have only made them smarter, so we've had to change the way we fish.
Smallmouth, they're visual feeders. Matte finish and neutral buoyancy are critical to get these fish to bite.
We never settle for good enough. It needs to be perfect. The result is you catch fish others can't.
Leaders in innovation and anglers at heart. Lew's is founded on a rich heritage of building the best. 70 years of cutting-edge innovation with one goal in mind: to answer the call of passionate anglers who demand reliability, durability, and tournament-level performance. delivering the best for you to perform at your best, on and off the water.